I'm getting a little deja vu a little bit when it comes to trades, when it comes to signings, and 4 open roster spots for the Philadelphia Eagles. This might not be anything, but I'm telling you, there could be something here that we're not seeing.
Because I've seen enough horror movies to know any weirdo wearing a mask is never friendly.
Yo, what is going on, guys? Hope it's having a fantastic day today. I hope everyone is enjoying their weekend. I know the humidity is kind of crazy right now, and everybody's staying in your homes and cool off a little bit. We are days away from Eagles training camp, and every day that goes by, it is getting slower and slower and slower. But I want to go over one thing, okay? Potentially players that the Eagles can sign, but one, there is an image, and yes, images don't mean a damn thing, but of course I'm going to make a video on it because that's just what I do. Okay, last year when I made a video about Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown working out, I got destroyed on YouTube. I mean, I got so much crap for that video. And I wasn't even saying that A.J. Brown was going to be a Philadelphia Eagle. I said, look at Hurts working his tail off. He's working out with his best friend. Oh, A.J. Brown, you know, kind of having some contract disputes, you know. Could he be available via trade? The Eagles need a wide receiver. And then all of a sudden they trade for him. They got the deal done before the draft happened the first night. And we were so damn happy. And obviously that video aged very well. And people were saying, oh, you were right. You were right. And trust me, I'm not always right. I'm mostly wrong, right, throughout the whole year. Okay, my opinions are just what it is, but obviously that aged very well. But there has been a new photo that's out, okay, from Kelee Ringo's Instagram. Kelee Ringo and Budda Baker working out together. I know, this is stupid. I get it. Okay, but you can't ignore the fact that you see something like this, and from a specific player in Budda Baker that could be wanting out of Arizona, wanting to go to a contender. Obviously, last year on his deal, getting a big extension from the Philadelphia Eagles or a team are having interest. He's been connected to the Eagles in a lot of ways, even one where he talked about Nick Sirianni and how that, you know, that he's the type of coach that he would love to have as a head coach. You know, and I'm not saying the Eagles are in dire need of safety, but if they feel like they don't have enough going to this year, obviously Reed Blankenship, a nice sample size. Sidney Brown coming into the mix, which I'm actually really excited for. See if he can make some noise. And Terrell Edmonds is a nice little stopgap player for the Eagles, but is it enough right now? I don't really have no faith in Kevon Wallace. Justin Evans is a vet, but he could play nickel and safety, but, you know, he's hurt every single year. You know what I mean? So not, you know, it can't really stand on his own 2 feet half the time during the season. And, you know, Kelee Ringo is, you know, hopefully they can cross-train him to that position. That'd be pretty cool, but I'm not really banking on that too much right now. But to see something like this is very interesting. Now, Kelee Ringo hasn't signed his contract yet. Don't know why. You know what I mean? I don't know why he hasn't signed his contract. We've been trying to figure this out for a while when it's, you know, coming around to this news. There's already rumors, even the Budda Baker stuff. You know, we don't really know what's coming out of his own mouth when it comes to what he really wants. First, it wasn't about the money. He wants to go to a contender. He wants to go to a really good team. I totally get it. I totally understand that. It seems like more players from Arizona want to leave day by day, especially who wants to play in this defense with the #1 guy that nobody wants to be around, okay? I totally get it. There was rumors about Budda Baker wanting $20 to $25 million a year, and yes, the Eagles are definitely not paying that. There's no doubt about it. Okay, even looking into the safety position going forward, I think it's a strong case right now. Because I think really when you look at it defensively for the Philadelphia Eagles, I think that, you know, the linebacker position is probably the weakest position that they have right now, and you know, I feel like that's probably a position they would like to add to. It could be, you know, defensive end, maybe with Yank Ngakoue still out there. Why not add more of a pass rush this year? Add another guy to the third rotation with Derek Barnett, if that's what you want to do. And really going into Budda Baker's contract, even with, what, 2 more years left on his deal right now. I mean, his cap number for this year is $16.8 million, which ain't no big deal. And obviously $17.9, close to $18 million 2024. So, I mean, this is easy to maneuver around because you can extend him, you can, you know, and lessen that cap hit, that cap number every single year. So I'm not really worried about it too much. Obviously, if the Cardinals make this trade, for them at least in the cap that they'll be saving, they'll save about $9.3 million. But unfortunately, it's like a $7.5 million cap hit. So they would really have to get something, which you can eat $7 million up. It's not that bad of a dead cap number, but you can eat it up, you know, no matter what. Do I think the Eagles will jump on this as fast as possible? Probably not, but it's just interesting to see just Kelee Ringo and obviously Budda Baker working out, and, you know, this, you know, image has been circulating. I'm not saying this is the same thing that happened last year with A.J. Brown and Hurts. I know it's somewhat different, but don't tell me it's never going to happen. It can happen, because you know how many people didn't think we were going to trade for A.J. Brown, myself included. I mean, I wasn't down like saying it will never happen. I just said, I don't think it's really going to happen. Realistically, I don't think right now it would happen, and they would have to pay him, and you know, and it happened at the end of the day. You know what I mean? So always got to look out for stuff like this. You know, just with images and stuff like this, you see guys working out with other players, and you know, Kelee Ringo's a part of the Philadelphia Eagles now, and you know, there could be some, you know, maybe there is some serious interest. I don't know. The more quiet that this gets, just with the open roster spots in general, the more likely that the Eagles have been looking around. And I think that's always been the case. The more that you hear, is probably the less that's going to happen. The less that you hear, I think more likely it could happen by a huge amount percentage-wise. So I'm not really worried about the contract or anything like that, but it involves draft compensation too. What are you going to have to give up for Budda Baker in general? You know what I mean? I don't think they're going to give him up for nothing unless you give away a couple mid-round picks or something like that for next year and the year after, or, you know, because Howie Roseman gets away with really good trades, and I wouldn't doubt if he trades for Budda, and you know, the draft compensation is not as bad as we think it's going to be every time we think it's going to be bad. But you know, realistically with contracts, especially, you know, even with Jalen Hurts' contract, like the cap numbers are very, very low. You know, the cap hits every single year, you know, getting paid a nice substantial amount of money that he's getting, but the cap hits, they kind of work it out where the cap number will work out nicely. So I'm not really worried about the cap so much if they are able to sign a player like Budda Baker or something like that. But like I said, what are you going to have to give up? And, you know, if the Eagles sign Budda Baker after the first week, the second week of free agency, and he's still, you know, or not free agency, I mean via trade or something like that, then that means they were really just looking at, you know, their safety spot throughout the couple weeks of training camp, just see what they have. You know, like I said, I don't want to believe it too much. You know, I think this is cool, you know, just to see it. But realistically, probably not. I'm not going to go over my head about it. I'm not going to make a big deal about it. But this is something that we could definitely watch out for. I mean, this is an eye-opener at the end of the day, so I don't see why not. So other than that, guys, that's pretty much it. Let me know what you guys think about this. Do you think Budda Baker could be a Philadelphia Eagle? Do you think the Eagles could actually trade for him? Kelee Ringo and Budda, how good of friends they are, I have no idea. I mean, are they close? Apparently they are, I guess. I mean, Kelee Ringo had this picture taken on his Instagram and uploaded. So this one is definitely very, very interesting going forward. And to see if, do the Eagles really want a superstar at that position right now? Do I think the Eagles have one right now? No, 100% not. They do not. Have a lot of players that, you know, either are new or been in the system for a short amount of time, like Reed Blankenship with a nice sample size last year with a full offseason going with the Philadelphia Eagles as a somewhat projected starter. Sidney Brown getting drafted this year, and, you know, and I feel like Sidney Brown's going to make a lot of noise. I think really this is all going to depend on Sidney Brown and how good Terrell Edmunds plays, because I feel like if both aren't really panning out that much, I think the Eagles have to go get a caliber talent at that position, at least for the future, for a few years, because I feel like the Eagles will probably most likely, you know, they could hit on this position next year as well. I mean, I think they should draft another safety regardless in the future, but we're not talking about next year. We're talking about this year in the 2023 Philadelphia Eagles. So let me know what you guys think just in this whole thing in general. Do you think it means anything? Do you think it's nothing? Do you think it's just whatever? I just get deja vu of the A.J. Brown, Jalen Hurts thing when I see a picture like this, and I'm like, and I connect 2 and 2 together. And when we think something's not going to happen, sometimes it is in the works and we have no idea. So it's no secret that Howie Roseman's not, working the phones. He's always been doing that. But I feel like if it's not Budda Baker, they're definitely adding somebody to, whether it's the linebacker group, safety group, another defensive lineman. We've talked about it a million times. So the closer we get to training camp, we'll see what happens. If something happens beforehand, great. If not, they'll evaluate the safety spot and see what they have in the building. And it should be really interesting. So if you last this long in this video, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you like the video as well. Cover the Eagles every single day. And once training camp gets here, we'll be covering every bit of news. I don't care how long the videos are. We're going over everything that happens every day at training camp, and it should be a lot of fun. So you guys enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Remember, SHAKESQUAD up, follow us. Peace out, guys. Peace.